Welcome back to Stock 101. Last week, we broke down the difference between earnings per share and an earnings beat, helping you understand how companies measure their past performance. Today, we are going one step deeper into the psyche of the stock market. If you are brand new to investing, welcome. You do not need a finance degree, a suit, or any prior experience to understand what we are talking about today. We strip away the jargon so you can actually understand why your portfolio moves the way it does. Have you ever noticed something strange? You see a news headline that a company just reported record-breaking profits, the best quarter in their entire history. And yet, the second the market opens, the stock price crashes by 10 or 15%. It feels like a paradox, right? If they made more money than ever before, why are investors running for the exits? The secret lies in the difference between what happened yesterday and what the company promises will happen tomorrow. In this video, we are going to demystify the expectation game that Wall Street plays every single day. We are going to look at why past earnings are essentially old news to the pros, and we are going to use the quantum computing company IONQ as our primary case study to see how a high-growth company lives and dies by its future promises. By the end of this video, you will be able to spot the guidance traps that catch most beginners off guard, and you will know exactly how to look at a company's future outlook before you ever risk a single dollar of your hard-earned money. Let's get into it. To understand why stocks move the way they do, we have to talk about a concept called guidance. In the world of investing, guidance is a public company's official prediction of its own future sales and earnings for the upcoming months or years. Think of it as management giving investors a map. They are telling you, based on everything we see in our order books and our industry, this is where we expect the business to go next. To make this crystal clear, let's use a simple analogy. Imagine a student who comes home with a report card. They show you an A+ in history. That is their past performance, their historical result. You are thrilled. But then, the student says, by the way, I've already looked at the syllabus for the next 3 months, and because I'm struggling with the material, I expect to fail my next 3 exams. Suddenly, that A+ doesn't feel as great, does it? You aren't celebrating the past anymore. You are worried about the future. The stock market works the exact same way. When a company reports its earnings, the market doesn't just look at the numbers for the quarter that just finished. They are looking at the guidance for the quarters ahead. The formula for how a stock reacts is actually quite simple. The stock price reaction is equal to the actual results compared to the prior guidance, plus the new guidance compared to what Wall Street analysts were expecting. Let's break that down because it sounds like a mouthful. When you see a stock price jump or drop, it is rarely about the profit the company made 3 months ago. It is about how the company's new roadmap compares to the consensus. A consensus is just a fancy way of saying the average guess made by professional analysts who study that specific company. If Wall Street expects a company to grow by 20%, but the company's own guidance says they only expect to grow by 10%, the stock price will likely get crushed. It doesn't matter that they made a profit. It matters that they didn't meet the future expectation. For a beginner, this is the most important shift you can make in your mindset. You have to stop looking in the rearview mirror and start looking through the windshield. Companies are valued based on their future cash flows, not their past bank statements. If a company tells you that the next few quarters are going to be difficult, or that they are spending more money on research and development, which might hurt their short-term profits, the market will often punish them in the short term. Understanding guidance is the difference between being surprised by a stock crash and understanding exactly why it is happening. It is about knowing the map before you decide to go on the journey. Now, let's look at a real-world example to see how this plays out. We are going to look at IONQ, a company operating in the cutting-edge field of quantum computing. If you look up IONQ on a financial website, you will see a lot of volatility. To a beginner, it might look like random noise, but it is actually a very specific game of guidance math. IONQ is what we call a high-valuation stock. This means that the company is currently priced based on the assumption that it will become massive in the future. Because of that, the market is obsessed with their guidance. If IONQ reports that they have earned $5 million in revenue this quarter, that is great. But the market isn't asking, how much did you make? They are asking, how many quantum computers are you going to sell next year? Let's walk through the calculation. Suppose the market, meaning the collective group of analysts, expects IONQ to provide revenue guidance of $50 million for the full year. If IONQ steps up to the microphone and says, we are raising our guidance to $60 million, the stock price will likely skyrocket. Why? Because they beat the expectation. They told the world, "We are doing better than you thought we would." Conversely, imagine if the market expects 50 million, but IONQ says, due to supply chain issues, we are only guiding for 40 million. Even if they had a record-breaking quarter just now, the stock will likely fall hard. The market is saying, "We don't care that you did well yesterday. We are worried that you are slowing down tomorrow." When you analyze a company like this, you have to look for the guidance range. Companies rarely give you one single number. They give you a range, like, "We expect revenue between $50 and $55 million." As an investor, you should compare this to the previous ranges they provided. If they keep raising the bottom end of that range every quarter, it shows momentum. It shows that the business is gaining speed. You can do this yourself. Every time a company releases an earnings report, go to their website and look for the Investor Relations page. Download the press release. Don't look at the big, bold headline numbers first. Scroll down until you see the section titled Financial Outlook or Guidance. Read that paragraph carefully. Does the company sound confident? Are they raising their numbers? Are they being vague? By doing this, you are effectively doing the same research as the professional analysts on Wall Street. You are training yourself to look at the future, which is where the real value of a company is actually hidden. It is not magic. It is just reading the map the company has provided for you. Now, we have to talk about the most dangerous trap that beginners fall into. The past earnings trap. I see this happen all the time. A new investor sees a headline that says, "Company X reports massive growth," and they immediately buy the stock. They feel smart because they are looking at real, factual data, but they are missing the context entirely. The mistake is assuming that because a company did well in the past, it will continue to do well in the future. They ignore the guidance section entirely. They don't look at what the company is saying about the road ahead. They don't check if Wall Street was expecting even higher growth. They walk blindly into a valuation trap. Let's tell a story. Imagine a beginner named Sarah. Sarah sees that a tech company just announced they made double the profit compared to last year. She thinks, "Wow, this company is on fire," and she buys the stock at 10 in the morning. By noon, the stock is down 12%. She is confused, frustrated, and she feels like the market is rigged. She assumes the big players are manipulating the price. But the truth is much simpler. The company, in the same report, warned that their biggest customer was leaving and that future sales would likely drop by 30%. Sarah didn't read the guidance. She only read the past results. She was looking at the history book while the rest of the market was reading the future outlook. So how do you avoid this? The right approach is to prioritize the guidance section of the earnings report over everything else. Before you look at the historical revenue, read the outlook. Ask yourself, is the guidance growing or shrinking? If the company is in a high-growth sector like quantum computing, you want to see that guidance number moving up consistently. Another pro tip is to look for rising guidance. If a company raises its guidance for 3 quarters in a row, it usually means they are being conservative and the business is performing better than they even expected. That is a sign of strong business momentum. On the flip side, if the economy is slowing down, treat any overly optimistic guidance with extreme caution. If everyone else is struggling, but a company claims they are going to grow at record speeds, you have to ask yourself if they are being realistic. Don't just look at the numbers, look at the tone. Is the management team excited and specific, or are they hiding behind vague language? The more specific they are about their future goals, the more you can trust the map they are giving you. By making this one change, reading the future, not just the past, you are already ahead of 90% of the people who treat the stock market like a casino. You are treating it like a business, which is exactly what it is. To wrap up, let's summarize the 3 biggest takeaways for your investor toolkit. First, remember that guidance is simply the company's official map for where they expect to go, and the market is almost always more interested in the map than the current location. Second, the stock price is a reaction to the difference between the company's guidance and the consensus of the experts. If the company exceeds the expectations, the stock usually rises. If they fall short, it drops, even if the past quarter was perfect. And third, always read the financial outlook section of the earnings report before you look at the historical data. That is where the real story of the company's future is being told. One important reminder before you go, everything on Denver Stock Lab is for educational purposes only. Investing is a deeply personal decision. Your goals, your timeline, and your risk tolerance are unique to you, and no one else can make those decisions for you. Use what you learn here to study harder, ask smarter questions, and then make your own informed decisions. The work is yours to do, And I promise you, that work is absolutely worth it. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit that subscribe button to join the Denver Stock Lab community. We are here every week to help you demystify the markets, one lesson at a time. And keep an eye out for the next episode of Stock 101, where we will be taking the next step in your journey to becoming a confident, independent investor. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.